Hey everyone. Today, we are going to break down one of the most important ideas in AI right now, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or, as everyone calls it, RAG. It's this really clever technique that's making AI models way more reliable, way more accurate, and honestly, a lot more useful in the real world.
So, to really get what RAG is all about, we first have to talk about the big problem it was built to solve. You see, even these incredibly powerful large language models, LLMs, they have a pretty big blind spot.
Okay, just imagine this for a second. It's 2024, and you ask one of the top AI models out there about the brand new iPhone. This model is a genius, right? It's been trained on a huge chunk of the internet. But there's a catch.
And that catch is, its knowledge is completely frozen in time. Let's say its training data stopped in 2023. Well, the iPhone 16 just didn't exist in its world, so it simply can't tell you about it. Its knowledge has this hard cutoff date, which means it's basically out of date the second it's released. Now, when an LLM gets a question it can't answer from memory, it doesn't just say, "Sorry, I don't know." Instead, it does what it's designed to do. It tries to predict the most likely next word. And this can lead to something we call a hallucination, where it just confidently makes stuff up.
Here's a perfect, everyday example. You ask it about something private, like who's on your team at work, information it was never trained on. The model, in an effort to be helpful, might just invent a person named Alex. It sounds totally plausible, right? But it's 100% fabricated.
So, if the main problem is that the AI is missing up-to-date or specific facts, how do you fix it? Well, the solution is actually a really simple but brilliant idea. What if you stop forcing the AI to rely only on its memory?
The best way to think about it is like this. A normal LLM is like a genius student taking a really hard exam with a closed book. It can only use what it's already memorized. But an LLM with RAG is that same brilliant student, but now you've given them an open book or even access to the whole library during the test. They can look things up. And that is the absolute core of what RAG is. It's basically a system that connects the language model to some external knowledge base. This could be your company's internal documents, the latest news articles, pretty much anything, and lets it retrieve the relevant facts before it tries to generate an answer.
The name itself, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, tells you the entire story. First, it retrieves facts from a source. Then, it augments your original question with those new facts, and finally, it generates an answer based on that new, much richer context.
Okay, so that's the big picture, but how does this all work under the hood? Let's take a quick peek at the step-by-step mechanics. It's actually a really elegant and logical flow. It's basically a four-step dance. First, you ask a question. The RAG system immediately goes and searches its connected database for anything relevant. Then it takes that information it found and packages it up with your original question, creating this new, supercharged prompt. And only then does it hand that whole thing over to the LLM, which can now generate a way more accurate, fact-based response.
And this diagram just illustrates that flow perfectly. You see the user's query comes in on the left, which triggers that search of the knowledge sources. The system pulls out the relevant info, adds it to the prompt, and then sends it all to the LLM to get that final grounded answer. It's that simple. Now you might be thinking, hey, isn't there another way to teach an AI new things? And you're absolutely right. There's another popular method called fine-tuning. Let's compare them real quick, because knowing the difference here is super important.
So here's the absolute crucial difference. RAG gives the AI knowledge externally, on the fly, without ever changing the core model. It's just a reference library. Fine-tuning, on the other hand, actually retrains the model on new data. It permanently changes its internal brain to absorb a new skill or style.
And what's really cool about this chart is how it just lays out all the trade-offs so clearly. RAG is the absolute winner for data freshness. It's real-time. And look at traceability. You can literally see its sources, which is huge for building trust. It's also way cheaper to get going. Fine-tuning is more of a black box, but it's fantastic if you need to teach a model a whole new behavior. This chart here is a great way to picture it. You can see RAG on that vertical axis is all about using external knowledge. Fine-tuning on the horizontal axis is all about deeply adapting the model itself. They are really just two different tools for two very different jobs.
All right, so let's tie this all together. What does this actually mean in the real world? Why should you, whether you're a developer, a business leader, or just a curious user, really care about RAG? Well, the benefits are super practical. For one, RAG makes AI so much more trustworthy because it's grounded in actual facts. It keeps the AI's knowledge fresh without the insane cost and hassle of constantly retraining a massive model. This also means it's incredibly transparent. It can show you its work by citing sources, which is a game changer. And, maybe most importantly for businesses, it gives you complete control over the data your AI has access to.
And you're starting to see this pop up everywhere. Think about customer support bots that can actually quote you the correct, up-to-date company policy, or internal search tools that let employees ask normal questions and get answers from thousands of pages of documents. It's a total game changer for getting real work done.
You know, at the end of the day, this is the key takeaway. It's not enough for an AI to just be smart. It also has to be informed. The LLM provides the incredible reasoning engine, but RAG is what provides the timely, specific, and factual knowledge it needs to be truly useful.
So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. If a powerful LLM is like a high-performance car engine, all raw power and potential, then RAG is the real-time GPS navigation system. It connects that engine to the real world, tells it exactly where to go, and gives it the map it needs to get there. It's what turns all that raw power into truly useful intelligence.